All right. Hello, welcome back. So today on this, my beautiful vision is that we're gonna have the pieces and they're gonna go to the end here. And I'm thinking we'll just have a winter screen pop up. We're gonna start it today. It's not gonna be super fancy yet, but it's gonna exist. I'm gonna click the plus sign. I'm gonna give myself a root of center container. We're gonna set this up stunningly similar to the question boxes. And I'll call it winter screen, WINNER. Nailed it. All right. Give myself a panel container. And as you saw, you want panel container, not panel. Nailed it. And as a child of that, I want a VBox container. As you can see from the icon, because I always have to look at the icon to remember, this one aligns the nodes that are children of it vertically, but you knew that. I want a label. And as a child of VBox container, I also want a texture rect. We haven't dealt with these yet. So look at my hierarchy. You've got Bing, 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 and these guys are all stair-step children of each other, and label and texture rect are both children of VBox container. That needs to be set up like I've got it, otherwise it's going to look wonky here in a second. I'm going to click on winter screen and I'm going to theme it. Theme, I love my quick load, default theme.tres, and now it looks a little bit more normal. Let's give the label some text just so we can see what we're doing. We're going to change the text in code, so this text doesn't necessarily matter. I'm old. So that's what I'm going with. The end user won't see that unless something goes critically wrong. Just to make it pretty, I've clicked on VBox container. Let's have the alignment be center because I do love everything centered. Let's talk about this texture rect here for a second. This is how, when you're using UI nodes, see how everything's green? We're in UI right now. This is how you display. Godot calls them textures. You could call them sprites. You could really call them pictures. But this is how we do it through UI. You shouldn't use a sprite node here. Sometimes you can do that without everything breaking, but it usually breaks. So we're just going to use a texture rect. My idea is that when you win the game, it's going to either show the blue piece as the winner or the pink piece as the winner. So we can shove any texture we want to in here right now. Blue piece is looking at me. So I'm going to take it and drag it over to texture, drop it. Oh God, that's definitely not right. In stretch mode, I'm going to hit keep centered. And that changes it back to what we know and love. I'm going to Control S. I'm going to save it. Winter screen looks great. Nailed it. Let's come back over here. And I'm going to instance our winter screen as a child of canvas layer. So I've clicked on canvas layer and I want to click the instance button, not instant. To make this come to the center, I would come up here to the plus sign next to the anchor and see this little button that's in the center? I'm going to click it. Now it's centered. Cool. Pretty easy. I don't want this to show right when we boot because we haven't won anything, right? This would be crazy if you started up a game and it was like, you won. So I'm going to hide it. See the eyeball? Click. Goodbye. Come into main.gd. This is the while loop that we played with last time. If we haven't won, do all this. If we have won, do this. Actually, let's add that as a comment. Under piece.place, if we have not won, else, if we have won. That'll help us find it later. I want this winner screen to come up when both pink and blue are at the winner's circle, as it were. So how do we know if they've both won? They've both won if the blue piece, hello, place is, watch me type this, greater than or equal to. I don't know if we've done that together or not, but that's how you do greater than or equal to game spaces dot size, because that means we're sitting at the winner circle. But we also want to check if the pink piece is too. So, and you can do that. That's legal. Same deal. Pink piece dot place greater than or equal to game spaces dot size. If both of these pieces are at the winner's circle, comment loop today, which is a good thing to do. What's weird is my own code is probably over commented, but when I'm doing this for YouTube, I guess because I'm talking out loud, I don't think about writing comments. Obviously, we want the winner circle thing to come up, right? Hello. Oh, it doesn't know what we're talking about. We need a reference to it. Let's come up to our declarations. Beep. Try and drag it in. Oop, I didn't hold control. You all know I'm bad at this. Nailed it. What did it call it? Winner screen? Perfect. Winner screen dot visible equals true. Else, so like if just one person's at the winner circle, do all this, right? I'm going to highlight this code and I'm going to hit tab and it's going to tab it under the else and Godot's going to go, oh, that's the condition. Got it. You don't have to do this, but I'm going to do this to prove a point. This is going to be a surprise tool that will help us later. I'm going to add a print statement right here. I'm just going to say both won. All right, let's win a game. What do I have roll to? 100? Yeah, that'll work. Okay. Sorry for that weird cut. I'm going to spoil it for you. I actually do expect this code to crash and I wrote it to crash, but it didn't crash in the way that I thought it would. This callable means function, and Godot is reading these parentheses as me calling a function. I got to take the parentheses out, and so do you. I'm sorry. I actually didn't. No, wait. It's not take the parentheses out. It's add the parentheses in. But you have to add the parentheses in too. So I was like, So while I was debugging, I set roll to 20. It doesn't matter as long as roll's over 19. Now this code wink won't crash. Okay, so while Pink Piece is doing its thing, I'm going to let you in behind the scenes. I actually have two versions of this. There's the version that I experiment in to get it right before I take it to camera, and there's this version that you all see me record. That's how I get everything kind of right on the first try when I'm recording. And if you haven't noticed, this big filmed this, that keeps me in the right project. And I was sitting there going, but my other project worked fine. No, I just had the parentheses in the other project and I didn't have them in this one. Shout out to the Godot Cafe for helping me with that. It's a wonderful Discord if you've not gotten on it. Anyway, so pink won and blue is attempting to win. Come on, blue, you can do it. You know what's interesting? There it is. There's the crash. Oh man, we crashed real bad. Like we crashed Windows. Now I wonder why. Some of you have seen why. Yep, some of you can see it right now. But hit close program. Do you see how many times it printed both 1? And if you paid attention, Godot deleted it right when I had to close that program. But Godot actually had like an overflow error right there. What's going on? So whatever happens in this if loop, we're still in a while loop. So what it's doing is going, okay, while roll doesn't equal 0, so 19 is not 0. So it comes down here, oh, I've got to run this. And it runs this, and it runs it in perpetuity, just like over and over and over again. See all these both ones? I can't even get to the top. That's how many times Godot ran the while loop. It ran the while loop so much that it crashed. It was probably a memory thing, if I had to guess. Anyway, how do we get this to run 1 time? We could use return. I'm going to use another one. Break means just exit the loop. Just get out of this while. Quit crashing. I actually think we might have been able to get away with a break down here, but I don't know that for sure. And it's not broken, so I'm not going to fix it. Now that we've got the break in there, let's see if this rolls. It is Blue's turn. Thank you for, whoops. Oh, I just clicked out of it. Hold tight. Oh, and an error. That was me being done with the mouse. All right, Blue, go Blue. All right, let's see if it works. The winner screen comes up. Both 1 only printed 1 time. It's not crashing. Now it's also frozen because the game is over. We could fix that later. We'll figure that out. But we did it. Next week, we're going to make this a little bit more functional and a little less stupid. So I will see you then. You take care of yourself and have an excellent one.